So I went and got this Blanka figure, and I got quite the story for you guys about this. Let me go ahead and first find it on my YouTube app so I can look at the comments. Whoa. Let me turn that down. All right. Holy cow. All right, there we go. Let me do a sound check on here. All right. Sounds good. Hey, Delaxorian, thanks for joining us. So it's funny, I was searching on eBay for just, I don't know what, just looking for stuff. And I saw this. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I saw, oh, you know what? My sky stopped. Let me go ahead and get my sky going again. I guess it must have already went with all the way through sunset. There we go. Yeah, it's only 2 hours and 15 minutes, so it kind of goes kind of quick. I don't have the 9-hour version 1 on my sky yet. All right, so let's see. The Laxorian City found goalie in this line at an estate sale for $10. Nice. Yeah, it's crazy how inexpensive these things are. So anyway, I found Talking Duke. And I'm like, Talking Duke, that's going to be worth a ton of money for like only 25 bucks. I'm like, only 25 bucks for Talking Duke? That's crazy. So I thought, if Talking Duke is that cheap, I should look for some other figures too. And when my kids were younger, they had some cool G.I. Joes. Let me see if I can find them really quick on this thing called Google. Google. And they had a guy named Heavy Duty. Let's see. I mean, just type it in, it's so much easier. Or talk it in, it's so much easier. G.I. Joe, Heavy Duty. Let's see. Images, where are images? There they are. Here he is. So here is the figure one of my kids had. Let me see if I can find him. Yeah, there's the helmet on and everything. But anyway, let me try to find the exact figure. They got so many on here. There he is. So here is the figure that one of my kids had. Heavy Duty. And you can see it looks like the box is kind of... And the other one had Grunt. So you can see Heavy Duty here in this picture here. Oop, oop, oop. Oh well, you guys got to see it look like. Let's go. There's one. So that's the figure one of my kids had, and my other one had Grunt. Let's go ahead and search for Grunt. G.I. Joe, go Joe. Images. There he is. There's Grunt, which my other son had. So one had Heavy Duty, one had Grunt. And I don't think I bought Grunt. I think actually my son's birthday party, some girl bought him Grunt. And I'm like, I told my son jokingly, I said, man, you got to marry her. If she buys you an action figure like G.I. Joe, she's marrying material. Well, these G.I. Joes were 12 inches tall, and they were cool. So then, like I said, then I bought my other son Heavy Duty after getting Grunt. So anyway, and it was cool. So they bought all kinds of cool mission packs and stuff. Well, as the kids were playing with the G.I. Joes, it came very apparent that I didn't have any figure to play with them. And so my wife asked me what I wanted, and I said, you know, these Street Fighter figures look pretty cool. So let me go ahead and find my video again. That stinks that it wouldn't jumped out of my video. Hold on. Your videos. What? History. There we go. Now I'm back in my video so you'll see your guys' comments. Wow, lots of comments. Yep, they were the basic bargain figures, but I thought it was cool because then my kids could have more imagination with them. We got all kinds of cool mission packs for them and made all kinds of fun stuff. And so they dressed them up in all kinds of stuff. And I liked them because they weren't really a big part of the storyline. So my kids could make their own stories up. So Anyway, so my wife got me Blanka so I could play G.I. Joe with my kids. This was the guy I used. And we had the astronaut set and the ski set, and my wife made a tent. I made the poles for it, and she made the outside part. She sewed it for one of my kids, and they had all kinds of cool stuff. And they eventually got more GI Joes after that, but those were their first ones. And so this figure has a lot of memories for me playing with my two older boys, which, holy cow, they are now in their 30s. And so let's open this thing up. So it's been in the box for, what, since, I don't know what year these came out. Was it 90s? Oh, come on, box. Why'd you use so much tape, Hasbro? Hasbro! Now, I didn't rebuy the ones my kids had, because that'd be kind of weird, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to have the one that my wife got for me. Now, I did have them for a long time, and I decided to sell them on eBay one time. And the funny thing is, I sold the opened Blanka figure for about the same price I paid for this one in the box. But that was years ago that I sold it. I think I kept the sword too, because I liked the sword, and I wanted to keep the sword for my 12-inch He-Man to use. So here's the other figures in the line. They have M. Bison and Goalie and Ryu, and of course Blanka. So let's get them out of here and tell some more of the stories. Let's see. These came out after the movie. Yes, I think they did. Oh yeah, my kids had the scuba set too. That's right. I forgot about the scuba set. And then I also bought them some Hulk action figures too that were rotocast, and they were really cool Hulk figures that you'd play with also with these guys, and they had a whole bunch of cool stuff. They had all the cool G.I. Joe stuff. They eventually even got the Cobra Commander figure too, years later. Well, maybe it wasn't years later. It felt like years later, but when you're talking kid time, usually years aren't really years. So there we go. All right, let's get them out of here. So just a few minutes ago, I also bought the let's get the dog tags off because he didn't have dog tags in the video game. There we go. I also just bought the astronaut set because when I used to store my Blanka, I always had them in the astronaut set and made a cool interactive computer generated thing within that the kids could click on. They could click on the little laser from the set that, and then it would turn forward and shoot the screen. They could click the facial mask and open up and he'd say, I forgot what he'd say, like hello or something. Or they can click his sword that I had on his back and he would grab his sword and swing it around. And it was made back on an Amiga. This is so weird seeing this figure after all these years. Yeah, no boots for you, dude. We know you fight barefoot. Huh! Well, anyway, to make a long story short, it was always kind of fun with the kids because a lot of times I would help them name their action figures. And a lot of times they'd name them after people that I actually knew because I helped them name them. And so I'd look at the figure and say, he kind of looks like so-and-so. And that would be the figure's name. Or they would name it their own name. Like I said, like they had oops. Let's just sit him down. Look at that. Click, 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 click. He has the knees like Barbie with the clicking knees. You know, he could make a cool giant for a He-Man. You know that? Like one of the ABC giants. I just realized that. That's kind of cool. Of course, they'll need some different clothing to be the ABC giants. Look at that. He comes with little grenades. Little grenades. And he comes with a gun and a missile. Whoop. There we go. Let's see if it still fires. Ho! That thing hits really hard. Way harder than the toy we just showed off yesterday. And then he has the coolest of them all, the sword. Now this particular sword, mine had a slight bend in it when I first got it. When I looked online, if you look and you see little white spots on it, don't get it. And that means it's going to be bent or have some kind of stress marks on them. So I went through a bunch of auctions till I found one that did not have any white on the sword at all when I picked it up. So that was pretty cool. And then we also got this operations manual. Fighting positions. How to make them stand. Now, look at that. Headbutt, foot swoop. That's funny. That's pretty cool. The sword. Razor edge stainless steel blade. Sure grip. Street handle. Quick chop blade balance design. Dun dun dun. How cool is that? Anyway, let's go ahead and put this box on the floor. I don't need the gun. I just want the sword. Just the sword. And you know what? You don't need your vest, because he never had a vest when he was fighting anyway. There we go. Oh. And so we'd have friends over to visit, and they always thought it was kind of funny if they realized that they were named after one of my kids' action figures. Well, one time we're having dinner, and we're with some friends that didn't really know us in the action figures at the time. In fact, our wife didn't even know us in the action figures at the time, except for the one G.I. Joe I had. And my daughter used to like to play Barbies. And so she comes up and she says, Dad, can I borrow your G.I. Joe for Barbie to date? So my daughter would use this G.I. Joe here as her date for Barbie quite often. And it used to crack me up, you know, because I was always wondered what kind of guy she was going to bring home, with this being Barbie's mainstay, because she didn't really have a lot of Kens. And we always know G.I. Joe's a way better date than Ken anyway. So this was usually who she would grab to be her Barbie's date. And it was awesome, because my daughter had some pretty cool Barbie dolls we made for her. I forgot these were cross promotion with GamePro. Yep. Let's see, that's an eye taker right there. Yeah, if they would have made a Chun-Li figure in G.I. Joe, that'd have been awesome. But one thing you notice is he does have the standard G.I. Joe body that came out in the 90s. So he does have the rubber arms and elbows, which, if I remember right, they did articulate. What the? I can't get the joint to click. There we go. And it's tight. But as you use this clicking joint, it's not you to have a gap in the skin, because this is rubber coated joints, which is a really cool idea, because then you could, you know, keep those joints from being visible. But as you move them, you end up with these gaps in the arm where the rubber would unless you had it just one click in, then it worked just fine. But still, he does not look like the big monster-bound Blanka that we would see. I mean, he needs much bigger lats right here, first of all, and then much beefier legs too. But still, it's pretty cool. So I do have that astronaut set on order, so I can dress him up the way I used to dress him up when my kids were little. I'll probably stick him on my shelf, but you gotta admit, he'd make a cool ABC Giant. I never even thought of that. So you're probably going, ABC Giant, what is he talking about? In the 2000X cartoon, there were 3 giants, and I like people refer to them as the ABC Giants. I think because their names had A, B, and C for the first initial. I don't remember. But being he's 12 inches, he's the same height as Titus and Megator. All right, let's get Titus and Megator out here, just so we can compare them. Might as well, right? Well, at least she didn't pick up G.I. Joe or G.I. Blanka to date. Yeah, I was going to wonder what she'd end up with as, you know, her husband or something someday. But the guy she's with is a great guy now. He's not turquoise green skin colored. He doesn't have orange flashy hair, and he doesn't light up with electricity, so... All right, let's get the giants out. Bright light, bright light. Oh. All right. I got my giant box here. I'm opening it up. Boom, boom, boom. As the steam pours out. So yeah, next to Titus, he looks a little sad in Muscle Bound. I mean, his arms look like mine next to my kids. So maybe not the best for an ABC Giant, but still kind of cool. Let's go and look at the 12-inch He-Man by Mondo that I turned into. Ugh. Stand, man. His feet are so little. That's why he has the boots, so he can stand, probably. So here's my 12-inch Titus Custom. Yeah, Blanka just looks sorely lacking next to Titus and He-Man. You're probably going. They're both Tituses. This is actually the He-Man body from Mondo. This is the actual Titus body from Mondo. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, I guess Megator looks more like Blanka from the movie than, or from the video game, than the Blanka G.I. Joe looks. Anyway, it's still cool having him. Brings back a lot of memories. I just remember him being much more bulkier than this. That's what's so funny about it in my head. It's just funny, the memories you have versus reality. All right, let's see your guys' comments. Barbie likes the monster. That's what Mike said. Some people I know still like to play He-Man and Barbies. Yes, that is true. At least she didn't pick G.I. Joe Blanka to date. Yep. Hey, welcome from Minnesota, Mike P. Made it to one of Todd's live videos. Carlos, you made it. Thanks, man. Blanka needs to hit the gym. Yeah, I mean, you know, in reality, I wouldn't mind if I had a physique like that for the way his chest looks, but you're right. Next to a He-Man figure, he does look pretty lame. But next to Ken, he looks awesome. Next to Ken, he looks awesome. But next to He-Man, not so much. So I remember the Ken dolls didn't have quite the physique. Now, if I remember right, what was that Max guy? I don't remember his name now. Something Max. He was the Mattel version of G.I. Joe, kind of. Someone's going to tell me here. Let's see. Yeah, they're based on the movie characters. Blanka needs a sandwich compared to the other two. Max Steel, thank you so much. Yes, and I believe Max Steel looked more He-Man-ish than some of these guys, and some of the G.I. Joes do. All right. Anyway, that is all that I got. I thought it was fun picking up this figure, bringing back old memories. He'll probably sit forever on my shelf once I get his spacesuit and put him in it, and that will probably be it. I know it seems kind of funny to put him in a spacesuit when he has all this cool hair and orange and green and everything else, but it was cool to open up the helmet and see this monster face inside of it. I actually kind of got a kick out of it. It was like an alien took over one of our astronaut suits or something. Oh, stand. It's just funny. Look at his little feet. Look at the difference. Boom, 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 boom. Even though they're the same height. I mean, heck, even his feet look quite a bit different. Even just the boots. Where are the boots? So even with the boot on, it's still quite a bit difference in height or size. Yes, they did make a lot of 3 3/4 one too. Like my kids had a couple of the Blankas in that, and the smaller size too. Stand, man. I'm gonna have to get some stupid doll stand for him now. See, action figures should stand on their own. They shouldn't have to require a doll stand. I like the small ones, honest, and if they were just insane. Yep. Yeah, and the 3 1/4 ones were cool, and again, that they match the same size as Micronauts, like we talked about yesterday, which was always pretty cool. See how much kick. His crotch is too tight. You got to pull his pants up, I think, in order so don't rip his crotch to do a kick. Okay, let's pull these legs up a little bit to get that. Got to pull it past his quads there. Pull this one past his quad. So we can raise his crotch up so he can do a kick. It's just so funny. I remember them being so much more muscular. It's just so bizarre how your mind plays tricks on you as the years go on. All right. There we go. Now you can get some Chuck Norris action going in there. Hoo! Oh. See, he does have more mobility than the other guys. It's funny. I thought this guy was more green until you take a look at him next to Megator. Turn your arm, man. Come on, stand. Almost got it. Put your foot there. Put your hand back here for counterbalance. Hope. Oh, come on. You can balance if you want to, Mr. Rubber Feet. Quick. Oh! Oh, well. He can't even stand on 2 feet, let alone 1 foot, so what did I expect? What did I expect? Daisy Duke Blanka. He's got short shorts. Hey, he's got to have the short shorts so he can do the kick, okay? Without that, there is no kicking power. No power! Whatcha? Huh. Oh. Bend your elbow, man. It's gonna do the backhanded raking. Oh, his wrist doesn't turn. That's funny. But he does have the cool grip hands. See the rubber grip hands? I should just put one boot on so I can have him stand better. Okay, I'm killing the feed. Let me see what you guys say before I end this video. Blanka, pull a groiner. I see. I remember the last of days of G.I. Joe in the 90s, and they were trying everything. Sci-fi monsters, Drug Elimination Force, Eco Warriors, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, etc. Dino Hunters even. Wow. The legendary Kung Fu Grip. That's what they used to call it. Kung Fu Grip. And I remember the Kung Fu Grip on the old G.I. Joes were just, the fingers were all separate. And they would always snap off at the knuckles. But having the whole hand makes it way better. And it's funny, I remember, I forgot about this. We used to hang them on the coat hanger somehow. I forget how we would do it in the kids' closet. They'd have their G.I. Joes hanging from the coat hanger for some kind of, maybe it was like that. I don't remember exactly how we used to, maybe it was one bend in the elbow first and then twistoid out. Great way to store them. I know they make better Blanka figures, and who knows, someday I may buy one. Blanka is my favorite character in Street Fighter too. That's why my wife also thought it'd be cool to get him for me, because being my favorite guy, he's cool. See, Jason says, let's see, I'm gonna have to get my bank. Why would Blanka need a sword though? It just looks cool. I know he never had a sword in the video game, but I just like the fact that he has a sword. Why not? Why not? It's kind of funny. They got some tech stuff on it too. You can see that or not. The techie kind of marks on there and stuff. Interesting. All right, well, yeah, he should be more green. M. Bison was your favorite, huh, Mike? Is it the Shadow Storm sword? It could be. That would make a lot of sense. Reuse the parts when they can. Oh, yeah. I will tell her that, Jason. Let's see. It's from the clan of Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. Yeah, I'm not sure if it is or not, Carlos. Really? Gully came with the exact same sword too? I did not know that. He was the only Street Fighter figure that I got was this one. I thought it'd be cool to get Ryu too, but I did not get him. All right, that's it. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you guys next video. Good journey.